If you're over 60 and noticing more hair in your brush every morning, I want you to listen carefully because what I'm about to share could completely change how you see your hair loss. This is not about expensive treatments, it's not about harsh chemicals or complicated routines. In fact, American doctors and researchers have noticed a very specific pattern of hair thinning that affects women over 60, and the science behind it is finally clear. There's one powerful food us medical professionals are now recommending, and chances are it's already sitting in your kitchen. But before I reveal it, I need to explain 5 critical foods in the correct order. Because getting this wrong can actually slow hair regrowth instead of helping it. Stay with me until the end, and you'll know exactly what to eat for breakfast tomorrow morning to support thicker, healthier hair. And before we begin, tap the like button and leave a comment with your age. Let's build a community of women supporting each other through this journey. Now let me say something important first. What you're experiencing is real, and it's not just aging. The type of hair loss that affects American and European women after 60 is biologically different from hair loss in younger women. U.S. doctors have been studying this intensively, and it's something you should never ignore or simply accept as inevitable. Let's begin. Food number 5. This one surprises almost everyone. Plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt. Most women think hair loss is about how much protein they eat. But U.S. dermatologists have discovered something more important: protein absorption changes dramatically. After menopause, your hair follicles are made almost entirely of protein. But if your body can't absorb protein efficiently, your hair never gets what it needs no matter how much you eat. Greek yogurt contains a form of protein that's already partially broken down, making it easier for your body to digest and deliver directly to your hair follicles. Research from Stanford University found that the probiotics in Greek yogurt don't just help digestion, they improve your body's ability to extract amino acids that aging hair follicles desperately need. Think of it this way. You might be eating enough protein, but your hair isn't receiving it. 3/4 of a cup of Greek yogurt in the morning gives your hair follicle a gentle, perfectly timed protein boost right when hair growth activity is naturally higher. But protein alone isn't enough. Without a specific mineral, your body cannot use that protein properly. That brings us to food number 4. Food number 4. Pumpkin seeds. Yeah, something this simple and this powerful. Pumpkin seeds are one of the richest natural sources of zinc, and zinc deficiency is one of the most overlooked causes of hair thinning in women over 60. Doctors at the University of California found that nearly 70% of women over 60 with hair loss had zinc levels below optimal, not dangerously low, just low enough to disrupt hair growth. Zinc controls oil gland function around each hair follicle. When those glands malfunction, the scalp becomes either too dry or produces unhealthy oil that clogs follicles and blocks regrowth. Zinc is also essential for cell division. Without it, follicles simply can't produce new hair at a healthy rate. Add 1/4 cup of raw pumpkin seeds to your breakfast, preferably with protein. That's why Greek yogurt comes first. You can sprinkle them over yogurt or eat them separately. Light toasting is fine, just avoid added salt. Now let's talk about something most women never realize is silently damaging their scalp. Food number 3. Ground flaxseed. Not whole seeds, ground flaxseed. Whole flax seeds pass through your system without breaking down. Ground flaxseed delivers powerful omega-3 fatty acids that calm inflammation at the follicle level. Harvard researchers discovered that as women age, the scalp develops low-grade chronic inflammation. You can't see it or feel it, but it slowly poisons the environment around your follicles. Think of it like unhealthy soil. Even good seeds won't grow. Omega-3s from flaxseed calm that inflammation and restore a healthy scalp environment where hair can grow again. They also help your body produce natural oils that moisturize both scalp and hair from the inside. 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed daily mixed into yogurt, oatmeal, or smoothies is ideal. Keep it refrigerated so the oils stay fresh. At this point, you're supporting hair structure, follicle function, and inflammation. But there's still a missing piece. Food number 2. Spinach. This is critical for women over 60. Spinach provides iron, folate, and vitamin A, but more importantly, it helps correct low ferritin, which doctors see constantly in aging women. you might not be anemic. Your blood tests may look normal, but if ferritin is low, your body diverts iron away from hair growth. To protect vital organs, your follicles don't die, they go dormant. University of Pennsylvania studies showed that restoring iron levels gradually led to improved hair density within 6 months. 1 cup of cooked spinach per day, sautéed lightly, blended, or added to eggs, is enough to support this process gently and safely. Now everything changes because food number 1 acts as the master switch. Food number 1. Eggs, whole eggs, not egg whites, not supplements. Eggs contain choline and vitamin D, 2 nutrients that become critical important after menopause. Your hair follicles have vitamin D receptors. When vitamin D drops, follicles stay stuck in the resting phase. Eggs provide vitamin D in a highly usable form, and the natural fats in the yolk help your body absorb it properly. Johns Hopkins researcher found that women over 60 who ate 2 whole eggs daily, alongside adequate protein, zinc, omega-3s, and iron, showed measurable improvements in hair density and thickness. Even more interesting, the improvement continued month after month. Choline strengthens cell membranes and supports healthy follicle division. As we age, our bodies produce less of it internally, and eggs are one of the richest dietary sources. Eat 2 whole eggs every morning. Any preparation is fine as long as you eat the yolk. Now let me show you how simple this really is. The complete breakfast protocol. 2 whole eggs, 3/4 cup Greek yogurt, 2 tablespoons ground flaxseed, 1/4 cup pumpkin seeds, 1 cup cooked spinach. That's it. Less than 10 minutes, 1 plate. Every nutrient your hair follicles need. Now, let's talk expectations. You won't see changes overnight. Most women notice less hair shedding in 6 to 8 weeks. Around 12 weeks, hair feels thicker. By 6 months, regrowth becomes visible. At 1 year, hair often looks dramatically healthier. Consistency matters more than perfection. This is maintenance, not a temporary fix. Your hair follicles aren't dead, they're dormant. And these 5 foods create the exact conditions they need to wake up again. You now know what to do starting tomorrow morning. When women over 60 talk about hair loss, the first thing they usually say is, "I eat enough protein. I take protein shakes. I'm careful with my diet." And most of the time, they're telling the truth. But here's what U.S. doctors and researchers have discovered, and this is where everything changes. After menopause, the problem is not protein intake. The problem is protein absorption and utilization. This distinction is critical, because hair follicles do not care how much protein you eat. They only respond to the amino acids that actually reach them. Hair follicles are made almost entirely of keratin, a structure of protein. Keratin production depends on a steady, daily supply of usable amino acids. Hair follicles cannot store protein. They depend on what your body delivers to them every single day. Now, here's what happens after menopause. As estrogen levels decline, several subtle but important changes occur inside the digestive system. Stomach acid production often decreases. Digestive enzyme output declines. Gut motility slows. The intestinal lining becomes less efficient at transporting nutrients into the bloodstream. These changes are not dramatic. You don't usually feel them, but they are enough to significantly reduce how well protein is broken down and absorbed. This is why many women over 60 can eat the same foods they ate in their 42nd, and yet experience thinning hair, weaker nails, muscle loss, and slower tissue repair. From the body's perspective, this makes sense. When nutrients are limited, the body prioritizes survival. The heart, brain, and vital organs come first. Hair growth is considered non-essential. If amino acids are scarce, hair follicles are the first to be deprioritized. U.S. dermatologists who specialize in hair loss have noticed a consistent pattern. When older women present with diffuse thinning, meaning thinning spread across the scalp rather than bald patches, one of the first things doctors now evaluate is not just diet, but digestive efficiency. In other words, how well is this woman absorbing what she eats? This is where Greek yogurt becomes incredibly important. Greek yogurt is not just another protein source. It is uniquely suited to the aging digestive system. Unlike many protein-rich foods, Greek yogurt contains protein that is already partially broken down during fermentation. This means your body does not have to work as hard to digest it. Amino acids become available more quickly and more reliably. But the real power of Greek yogurt goes beyond protein. Greek yogurt contains probiotics, beneficial bacteria that support gut health. Research from major U.S. institutions, including Stanford-affiliated studies, has shown that probiotics improve nutrient bioavailability. That means they help your body extract and use more nutrition from the foods you eat. This is crucial for hair health. When gut bacteria are balanced and healthy, the intestinal lining becomes more efficient at transporting amino acids into the bloodstream. Once in circulation, those amino acids can finally reach tissues like hair follicles. Think of it this way. Protein is the raw material, the gut is the factory, the bloodstream is the delivery system. The hair follicle is the construction site. If the factory is malfunctioning, the construction site never receives supplies, no matter how much raw material you stockpile. This explains why so many women feel frustrated. They're doing everything right, yet their hair continues to thin. Greek yogurt repairs the factory. Another important factor is timing. Hair growth activity follows circadian rhythms. Research shows that cellular repair and growth signaling are more active during morning hours. This is why consuming protein earlier in the day is more effective for tissues like hair and muscle. 3/4 up. A cup of plain Greek yogurt at breakfast provides a gentle, steady protein signal exactly when follicles are most receptive. This is not about flooding the body with protein. It's about consistent, absorbable delivery. Now, let's address a common misunderstanding. Many women believe that protein powders or shakes are better than food. In some cases, protein supplements can help, but for hair health after 60, they often fall short. Why? Because protein powders lack the probiotics and cofactors that whole foods provide. They may increase protein intake, but they do not improve digestion or absorption. Greek yogurt does both. It feeds the follicles directly and improves the system that delivers nutrients to them. There's another reason Greek yogurt matters so much after 60, and it has to do with inflammation. As women age, low-grade gut inflammation becomes more common. This inflammation interferes with nutrient absorption. Probiotics help calm this inflammation, allowing the gut lining to function more efficiently. A healthier gut means better amino acid absorption, with more stable blood sugar, to reduced inflammatory signaling, improved nutrient delivery to hair follicles. This is why women who incorporate Greek yogurt consistently often notice improvement, not only in hair, but also in digestion, energy levels, and even skin quality. Now let's talk about quantity. More is not better. 3/4 of a cup of Greek yogurt is enough. This amount provides sufficient protein without overwhelming digestion. Overloading protein, especially later in the day, can actually reduce absorption. Efficiency. The goal is gentle, daily support. Another critical detail is plain and unsweetened. Added sugars increase insulin spikes and inflammation, both of which negatively affect hair follicles. Flavored yogurts often contain more sugar than dessert. Plain Greek yogurt allows you to control what you add. A small handful of berries is fine. They provide antioxidants and a small amount of vitamin C, which supports collagen and tissue repair. Now, here is where many women make a mistake. They eat Greek yogurt, but they don't see results. Why? Because protein cannot be utilized properly without certain minerals, especially zinc. Protein is the building block, but zinc is the activator. Without zinc, amino acids cannot be efficiently incorporated into new hair strands. This is why Greek yogurt alone is not enough. This is also why the order matters. Greek yogurt must come first. It prepares the digestive system. It delivers absorbable protein. It creates the foundation. Then and only then does the body become ready to use zinc, omega-3s, iron, and vitamin D effectively. This is why U.S. doctors emphasize nutrient synergy, not single foods. Hair growth is not controlled by one nutrient. It is controlled by systems. Greek yogurt repairs the system that delivers nutrients to hair follicles. That is why it is food number 5, the foundation. Not because it is weak, but because everything else depends on it. If protein absorption is poor, zinc cannot activate growth. Omega-3s cannot reduce inflammation effectively. Iron cannot support cell division. Vitamin D signaling becomes less effective. This is also why women who take everything but still experience hair loss often see improvements when they simplify and start with digestion. Now let me say something reassuring. If you are over 60 and experiencing hair thinning, this does not mean your body is failing. It means your body has changed and it needs different support than it did years ago. This is normal biology. When you provide protein in a form your body can actually use, hair follicles often respond positively. Not overnight, not dramatically at first, but steadily. This is why women who follow this protocol often report the first G not as regrowth but as less shedding. That is the first sign. Protein delivery is improving. Hair shedding slows when follicles feel supported. Only after that does thickness improve. Greek yogurt said, "This process in motion, it tells your body, we have enough resources. We can invest in growth again." That message is powerful. And it is the reason Greek yogurt is not optional in this protocol. It is the foundation. When women over 60 talk to doctors about hair thinning, the conversation usually focuses on hormones, genetics, or aging. Very rarely does anyone mention zinc, and yet, in clinical practice across the United States, zinc is one of the most common missing pieces doctors quietly see in women experiencing age-related hair thinning. Not severe deficiency, not something dramatic, but a subtle, functional shortage that quietly disrupts hair growth. This is why zinc is so dangerous when it's low. It doesn't cause obvious symptoms right away. You don't feel sick, you don't feel weak, but your hair follicles feel it immediately. Hair follicles are among the fastest dividing cells in the body. They require constant cellular turnover, and zinc is absolutely essential for this process. In fact, zinc plays a role in more than 300 enzymatic reactions in the human body, many of which are directly involved in DNA replication, protein synthesis, and cell division. Without zinc, cells simply cannot divide efficiently. Now, here's what happens after 60. As women age, zinc absorption declines. This is not because women stop eating zinc-rich foods. It's because the digestive system becomes less efficient, stomach acid levels drop, and mineral transport mechanisms weaken. At the same time, chronic low-grade inflammation increases. Inflammation interferes with zinc absorption and increases zinc loss through urine. So even if a woman's diet hasn't changed, her functional zinc level often has. U.S. dermatologists and internal medicine physicians have noticed this pattern repeatedly. When mineral analyses are done on women over 60 with diffuse hair thinning, zinc levels are very often just below the optimal range. Not low enough to trigger alarms, but low enough to slow hair growth. This is exactly why routine blood work often misses the problem. Most standard tests look for deficiency. Hair requires optimal levels. Now, let's talk about what zinc actually does for your hair follicles. First, zinc regulates the oil glands called sebaceous glands that surround each hair follicle. These glands produce sebum, the natural oil that keeps your scalp moisturized and protects hair strands from becoming brittle. When zinc is adequate, these oil glands function smoothly. The scalp remains balanced, not too dry, not too oily. When zinc is low, oil gland function becomes erratic. Some women experience excessive dryness and flaking, others experience thick, unhealthy oil that clogs follicles. In both cases, the result is the same: a hostile scalp environment that blocks new hair growth. Second, zinc plays a direct role in follicle structure. Hair follicles rely on zinc-dependent enzymes to maintain the integrity of the follicle wall. When zinc is insufficient, follicles become weak and fragile. Hair strands grow thinner, break more easily, and shed sooner. This is why zinc-related hair loss often looks like diffuse thinning rather than bald patches. Third, and most importantly, zinc is required for cell division. Every new hair strand begins with rapid cell division in the hair matrix at the base of the follicle. Zinc is a cofactor for the enzymes that make this division possible. Without enough zinc, follicles cannot produce new hair at a healthy rate, no matter how much protein is available. This is why protein alone does not fix hair loss. Protein is the raw material. Zinc is the machinery. Now let's talk about pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds are one of the richest natural food sources of zinc available, especially in a form the body recognizes and regulates well. Unlike zinc supplements, which can overwhelm the system and interfere with copper absorption, zinc from food enter the body gradually and safely. This is extremely important for women over 60. Doctors do not recommend high-dose zinc supplements unless there is a diagnosed deficiency, because excess zinc can suppress copper, weaken immunity, and cause digestive issues. Food-based zinc does not do this. Pumpkin seeds provide NC along with magnesium, healthy fats, and plant compounds that support absorption. Now here's another critical point. Zinc absorption is protein dependent. This means zinc is absorbed more effectively when eaten alongside protein. This is why the order of foods matters so much. Greek yogurt prepares the digestive system and supplies amino acids. Pumpkin seeds then deliver zinc that can actually be utilized if you eat pumpkin seeds without protein. Zinc absorption is significantly reduced. This is why so many women try zinc supplements or zinc-rich foods and see little improvement. The system isn't ready to use it. Now let's address a common misunderstanding. Some women think, I eat nuts and seeds, so I must be getting enough zinc. But not all seeds are equal. Pumpkin seeds contain significantly more zinc than most other seeds. They are uniquely dense in this mineral. Just 1/4 cup of raw pumpkin seeds provides a meaningful amount of daily zinc need without exceeding safe limits. This is the ideal amount. More is not better. Excess zinc does not improve hair growth. It disrupts mineral balance. The goal is restoration, not overload. Now let's talk about timing. Zinc absorption follows circadian rhythms. It is absorbed more efficiently earlier in the day, especially when digestive activity is strongest. This is why pumpkin seeds work best at breakfast, not late at night. Eating them in the morning also aligns zinc availability with peak hair growth signaling. Now let's talk about scalp inflammation again, because zinc plays a role here too. Zinc has anti-inflammatory properties. It helps regulate immune activity in the skin and scalp. When zinc levels are adequate, inflammatory signaling decreases. This is important because inflammation shortens the hair growth phase. By restoring zinc levels, follicles stay in the growth phase longer. This is one reason women often notice reduced shedding before they notice regrowth. Shedding slows when inflammation decreases and follicle stability improves. Now, let's address how long this takes. Zinc does not work overnight. Hair follicles respond gradually. In clinical observations, doctors often see reduced shedding in 4 to 8 weeks, improved hair texture in 2 to 3 months, visible thickening in 4 to 6 months. This timeline matches the hair growth cycle. Now here's something many women need to hear. If you are over 60 and experiencing hair thinning, this does not mean your body is failing. It means your mineral balance has shifted. This is normal biology. Your body has adapted to aging by prioritizing survival. Zinc is redirected to immune function, wound healing, and metabolism, away from hair. When you restore zinc gently and consistently through food, the body reassesses priorities. Hair growth resumes when the body feels safe. Again, pumpkin seeds send that message. They say, we have enough. We can invest in growth. That message is powerful. And that is huge. Why zinc is not optional in this protocol? It is the activation mineral. Without zinc, protein cannot be used efficiently. Follicles weaken. Hair growth slows. Shedding increases. With zinc, 2 follicles stabilize. Egg oil glands normalize. Quad cell division improves. Quad growth signals strengthen. This is why pumpkin seeds are food number 4. Not because they are minor, but because they activate everything that comes after. Greek yogurt builds the foundation. Pumpkin seeds turn the system on. And only then can omega-3s, iron, and vitamin D fully do their work. When women over 60 think about hair loss, most focus on the hair itself. The strands, the thickness, the shedding they see in the mirror or the shower. But doctors who specialize in hair health focus on something different. They focus on the scalp environment, because hair does not grow in isolation. It grows from follicles that are deeply influenced by what is happening in the skin, the blood vessels, and the immune system just beneath the surface. One of the most important discoveries U.S. researchers have made in recent years is that aging scalps develop low-grade chronic inflammation. This inflammation is not dramatic. There is usually no redness, no pain, no itching. And yet, it quietly disrupts hair growth. As women age, inflammatory signaling increases throughout the body. This is sometimes called inflammaging. It affects joints, blood vessels, digestion, and the scalp. At the follicle level, inflammati. It causes several harmful changes. First, it restricts microcirculation. Blood vessels around the follicles become less efficient at delivering oxygen and nutrients. Second, inflammation interferes with growth signals. Hair follicles spend less time in the active growth phase and more time in the resting phase. Third, inflammatory chemicals weaken the follicle structure itself, making hair thinner and more prone to shedding. This is why many women notice that their hair not only thins, it also becomes dull, dry, and fragile. Now here is the crucial point. No amount of protein, iron, or zinc can fully work if the scalp environment remains inflamed. It's like trying to grow plants in polluted soil. The seeds may be healthy, but the environment is hostile. This is where ground flaxseed becomes essential. Flaxseed is one of the richest plant-based sources of omega-3 fatty acids. These fats are powerful regulators of inflammation. Unlike omega-6 fats, which can increase inflammatory signaling when consumed in excess, omega-3s actively calm immune overactivity. Research from major U.S. universities has shown that omega-3 fatty acids reduce inflammatory cytokines and improve blood flow at the tissue level, including in the scalp. This is especially important for women over 60 because their bodies often produce fewer anti-inflammatory compounds naturally. Now, a very important clarification. Whole flax seeds do not work. They pass through the digestive system intact, meaning the omega-3s are never absorbed. Only ground flaxseed delivers usable omega-3 fatty acids. Once absorbed, these omega-3s are converted into compounds that reduce scalp inflammation. Key improve follicle blood supply, support longer growth phases, head improve natural oil production. This is why women who add ground flaxseed often notice less scalp dryness and improved hair texture before they notice regrowth. Another important role of omega-3s is their effect on the skin barrier. The scalp is skin, and aging skin loses moisture and resilience. Omega-3s strengthen cell membranes, helping the scalp retain moisture and maintain a healthy barrier against irritation and environmental stress. This creates a safer, more stable environment for hair follicles. Now let's talk about dosage and timing. 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed per day is ideal. More is not necessary and can cause digestive discomfort. Flaxseed works best when eaten with other foods, especially protein or healthy fats, because this improves absorption. This is why it fits perfectly into breakfast alongside Greek yogurt and eggs. Another critical detail is storage. Once flaxseed is ground, its oils are fragile. If left at room temperature, they can oxidize and become inflammatory instead of anti-inflammatory. Always store ground flaxseed in the refrigerator and buy it in small quantities. Now let's talk about expectations. Flaxseed does not create instant regrowth.